Good morning, good evening, good afternoon. Welcome aboard the Max Afterburner podcast, sponsored, powered by the No Fallen Heroes Metaverse. There you go. Now, I don't want to give a shout out to Zuck and Facebook. Not going to call it Metaverse. So the No Fallen Heroes universe, man. Great stuff going on. It's been a minute, been a while. A lot of great stuff going on. Our Mental Joe launch with the psychedelic fighter pilot hoodie and t-shirt went swimmingly. So I appreciate that. And then our Maverick Mind launch with our line of supplements going great. Cat Shot is almost done being developed and tested and all that type of stuff. So get ready to check that stuff out. Make sure you go to mycrewdoses.com to take a look at our healing line of supplements. Cody and Daniel did a great podcast on their My Crew Doses podcast, mapping out all the products and the certificates that these supplements go through to make sure everybody's knows that all these supplements, 100% legal, natural, all that good stuff. Because I got airline buddies calling or alphabet agency buddies worried. I'm like, no, dude, these are all healthy, natural, legal, 100%. So great stuff going on, man. Really, really big week ahead. Wednesday morning, crack of dawn. My boy and I, Matthew, we're going to jump on a Southwest Airlines flight up through Orlando, up to Birmingham, jump in a car from Birmingham up to Gadsden, to the airport in Gadsden, where our L-39 Albatross is undergoing its annual inspection. So it's done. Good, clean bill of health. Just like you need to go to the dock once a year. You take your jet to the dock once a year. They look at the pyro on the ejection seats. They unpack the chutes, make sure the chutes are looking good, do engine runs, make sure everything is nice and tight. Then we're going to hop in said jet, and we're going to three-leg it up to the land of the beautiful people in Aspen, Colorado, man. So we have a great event coming up. Let me give you the deets, because I know some of you are coming on December 8th at Catch Steakhouse in Aspen. We are doing a fundraiser for it's the outdoor alumni game. If you're a hockey fan, you understand. If you're not a hockey fan, you better start being a hockey fan. But they do an outdoor, right? You know, they do the outdoor classic once a year and type of thing. Well, the alumni, the NHL alumni, are going to start doing their own outdoor classic in the winter. So this one is up in Carbondale, actually, is where the rink is. Sheldon, my new brother Sheldon, owns the rink. So the Outdoor Alumni Classic in Carbondale on December 9th. So Henrique Lundqvist is going to be there. All sorts of famous NHL guys are going to be there. So we're going to do a fundraiser at the Steakhouse in Aspen Friday night. Dustin Lynch, my new brother, country music star Dustin Lynch, who we took flying in the jet last month, is going to be up there. He's going to sing the anthem for the outdoor game. And I'm going to fly my ass off, man. I think I'm flying out of Rifle because it'll be easier to get in and out of than Aspen. So Rifle's about an hour drive, I guess, from Aspen, but 5-10 minutes in a jet, whatever it is. So Sheldon, hooked the YPO group in Aspen up, and I'm just gonna stay there, and I'm gonna do donor flights, man, as many as I can, and obviously 100% of those donations go right to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation to provide healing grants for veterans, first responders, and their families. So going to be a great time. Susie's actually going to fly out, land in Denver, go pick Jack up in Boulder after he's done class on Friday, and they're going to drive up. So it's going to be a Buckley weekend up in Aspen with the jet, with all these NHL greats and great Americans like Dustin Lynch, except for Keely. Sorry, Keely. Keely's missed too much school, and she's got stuff going on, so she's going to hang back. And my beautiful mom is in town for the holidays, so she's going to hang out with my mom. So my mom and Keely are going to get some quality time as we go out to Aspen. So if you're in the area, want to come to the alumni game or to the fundraiser that Friday night at Catch Steakhouse in Aspen, we'd love to see you, man. So it's going to be fun. And then I'll bring the jet home whenever I'm done flying folks in Aspen. So Sheldon's wired in that area. He's like, man, you might need to buy another jet and just leave it out here. And I said, I dare you. First of all, secret between us. I'm going to start looking at places out in Colorado. It's calling. I'm a mountain guy too. Born, raised on the beach in Jersey, the Jersey Shore, not the MTV one, the real one, and Navy, beach, sun. I love it. But, I think as I get older, the mountains do call. Doing the healing retreat, last month out in Colorado really sealed the deal for me. Love the mountains and nature and stuff like that. So I think we're going to, you visit snow, right? You live at the beach and you visit snow. I think we're going to get a place out in Colorado, man. I think it's time. Probably should have done this before Jack went to see you, so we could have got in-state tuition, but I'm kind of an idiot. But everything happens exactly when it's supposed to. So I'm going to do a little house hunting out there, too. So I told Sheldon, get out of here, man. We'll have an L39 East Coast down here in South Florida, and, dude, we'll get another one, and we'll leave a jet out there in Colorado. Plus, it's just hot as hell here in South Florida in the summer. So, and I avoid flying the jet down here in the summer because it's just too hot, man. The AC works great in the air. On the ground, it's an oven. Thank you to Soviet technology. So really looking forward to that. Going to be a great week. A lot of stuff. We're going to hopefully raise a lot of money for the No Fallen Heroes Foundation because every day the word keeps getting out. The VA came out last week with a new report that says veteran suicide actually went up, which is heartbreaking. Wall Street Journal this week had a big article on suicides, not just veterans, but everybody in this country went up, especially older folks. Older men are the highest at risk to take their own lives in this country. We are seeing an uptick at No Fallen Heroes with Vietnam era veterans reaching out for help. God bless those men and women who served in the Vietnam War. Desert Storm today, veterans of the game, parades, everything like that. Vietnam dudes, spit on, baby killer, all that stuff. So as they get up in age, man, there's a lot of hurt. There's a lot of pain. So every donation that you can make to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation can help save and change a life. I'm really crappy. I'm awesome at everything. I am shitty at asking people for money. That's why the jet's awesome, because you're getting something cool. You're getting the experience of a lifetime. Not too many people can say, hey, I flew in a fighter jet and got a tax deduction and I helped save and change a life. So, but me just kind of asking in general, I don't know if I suck or the message isn't. It's kind of hard to get donations from people. Sign of the economy, even though I'm told daily by Joe Biden and Kamala and Sideshow Mel, the press secretary, that everything's great. So I don't know. So doing the jet, Aspen, hopefully meeting some of the it's funny. The real estate lady is like, yeah, the billionaires have priced the millionaires out of Aspen. So I will not be house hunting in Aspen. I think Carbondale is pretty nice, where Sheldon and his wife live and their kids. So anyway, moving on. And this is going to be an interesting conversation. Let me take a deep breath and get centered here, because I don't want to offend, and I want to have a discussion. Obviously, this is one way right now, but if you're on YouTube watching this or listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify or on Instagram, if you see one of these clips sliced up, get into the comments, because I want to hear from you about this issue. Here's the issue. I ain't a shambro, not a priest, not a doctor, psychologist, MD, anything. None of these things, folks. So any of these times that I talk to you about my medicine experiences or what's going on in my life, that's me, man. That ain't giving you advice. I'm just saying this is what happened to me. Resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, great. If it can help you, great. If it doesn't, great. Right? Episode 33, Susie's podcast. It's fine. It's always fine. Everything is always fine. Recently, so MAPS released one of a real quick clip from my speech at the Veterans Dinner at Denver at Psychedelic Science 2023. speech was well received. It felt good. I felt spirit, felt my dad, felt my sister. So this clip, it's got like 170,000 views on the Maps page. So I reposted that on No Fallen Heroes and my personal Instagram, official_Whiz Buckley. Got some comments. So here's the discussion. Many of you know, as a result of childhood trauma, then military trauma, then post-military trauma, I lost my faith. Decades. Ain't no God, man. Ain't no God. God doesn't kill your sister, doesn't allow sexual stuff to happen as a child. You take your father, take 16 of your buddies, 3 of your buddies killed themselves, and so on. As a result of my medicine experiences, and people are like, people are drugs. You can call them drugs. There ain't drugs. Drugs are a dude in a lab coat and a beaker and profit. I call these medicines. You can call them whatever you want. Medicines heal. These medicines healed me. Now, I know some people, want to avoid using the term medicine. You're not a doctor. Go tell that to a Bawiti in the middle of Gabon using Iboga for thousands of years, or mescaline, or ayahuasca, or psilocybin. Okay, these people have been around since thousands and thousands of years, and it's medicine to them. But here we kind of turn our nose up at people living in jungles, right? Because we're more advanced. Yeah, might want to join them up in the mountains or the jungles of Colorado. So, as I've related my experiences over the months and years, there's been some interesting reactions from religious people. Recently, somebody posted, Satan, you extend everything you went through, it was evil or witchcraft, or I'm going to squish a bunch of different comments together. You didn't experience God, it was the devil. These things are gateways to whatever. You can imagine, and if you're one of the people that posted that, let's talk. Let me get this straight. On my ibogaine experience, when I believe, I lost my faith because I don't need it anymore. I have wisdom. I have knowledge. I experienced what I believe to be God. Infinite love, infinite light, infinite energy, infinite forgiveness for a guy like me. Healed. Ripped the drugs out of my system, ripped the alcohol, gave me time with my sister and dad, and didn't give me time technically, because as a result of experiencing Monica and my dad again, I knew that there wasn't time. There's only now, and now is forever, and they are sitting right here with me on this podcast. I have never been a better father, husband, human being. I am trying to help save as many people as we can. You're going to tell me that that's Satan or the devil. So if everything, and I've never been more spiritual in my life, connected to God, you're going to tell me that's evil or that was the devil. One guy's like, that's exactly what the devil would want you to think. Ha ha ha. I'm like, dude, please explain to me what God is then to you. And then again, and I don't say this in a pejorative way, but the Bible beaters like it, find Christ and you need to go back to church and all. I take it, man. Old me, I'd puff old me would, wouldn't be talking like this, but you get what I'm saying. I hold space. I appreciate those comments and stuff like that. But how is it physically possible for this medicine to have saved my life and changed my life and brought me closer to God? Never been more spiritual. Ain't religious. Please, let's fight in a nice way about how this is evil and how this was Satan or dark or whatever. I just don't, I can't get my head around it. If that's Satan, if Satan did all of those things, what the hell is God doing? And for all the religious types, let me hit you with another one. There is no such thing as Satan. There is evil. There's Vladimir Putin. There's Jeffrey Dahmer. There's fill in the blank. There's Hamas, terrorists who kill children, rape women, murder civilians. Bart, you don't even want to see. I made the mistake. I didn't make the mistake. I watched some of that GoPro footage. For the love of God and all things holy. Animals, treat animals better than that. So there is evil in this world. God, source, truth, divine, fill in the blank, gave us free will. He could have done what? I'm just making Muppets. You all are on your knees for the rest of your life. Worship me. Instead, God said, I love you so much. Enjoy this brief, this not even a blink of an eye in infinity time on that planet. Enjoy it. Hope you love me because I provided all this for you. Looks like some of you don't, and there's some evil. Going to go hands off a little bit. Many of you have heard me say this. God does not make imperfect things. Do you think God, infinite love, light, and energy, said, you know what? I'm going to make the exact opposite of me to test these things that I love so much? Comment away. Yes to, and I love it. I love you if that's what you believe. God absolutely made a devil, a Satan. Again, evil exists. I wore a uniform to serve this country, to defend our nation against evil. Evil all over the place, baby. It breaks my heart to see how much evil on this planet. Crime, racism, sexism, you name it. Evil exists. But to think that there's a dude running around in a devil costume with horns is a little much for me. What I experienced, God, man, it just did not seem to me like there was an anti-God, okay? So, love to hear back from you. Comment on the YouTube channel, comment on wherever, on our Instagram, and let me know, because I will admit, a little bit of ego hit every once in a while when I see these comments like, you experienced the devil and you need to get on your knees and beg for forgiveness for doing, whoa. I'll be honest, man. I still got a little bit of an ego. That hurts, right? Still a little bit of a, whatever guy. I wear my emotions on my sleeve. So this is why I wanted to talk about this today. If what I experienced was evil and Satan and everything, then why am I closer to God? Why am I just doing awesome? Got my low days, I go through my funks and everything like that. But the medicine has allowed me to step outside of that funk and say, episode 33, Susie, it's fine, son. Don't worry about the lows. They're not going to last. Enjoy the highs while they're there, because they're not going to last either. And it all averages out to everything's fine. Everything's perfect. So I just wanted to bring that up because it did cause a little consternation on my part that am I doing something evil? Am I wrong? So I went through a little bit of that after seeing some of these comments. Please, religious folks, Bible beaters, whoever who have said or believed that these things do that, how does experiencing my sister again in an angelic state and my father again, and them demonstrating to me that they never left, that they're here, they're infinite souls. Seeing my sister Monica as she left kind of go over towards Keeley. I can't. Every time I relive my medicine journey, it makes me feel better. So if that's evil, dude, what's good? Tell me what good is. Tell me what God is in your opinion. Is God a dude on a throne in a white cape with a beard that shoots lightning bolts out of his fingers if you do something wrong? Right? I have spent a lot of time and this might even piss these people off even more. I spent a lot of time reading outside of the Bible. Here we go. How about the Gospel of Thomas? Enoch. So a couple hundred years when the council of, oh man, it just flew out of my head. I should have prepared better. You all know that hundreds of years, however long after the death of Jesus Christ, a lot of dudes got together and said, here's what we're going to include. Here's what we're not going to include. Do me a favor, folks, especially if you're into this medicine work at all, check out the Gospel of Thomas. Read some Enoch. There's other ones out there, but both, and they're quick. It's not like, oh man, this will take a weekend. Dude, it's take you 15 minutes, if that, 5 minutes to read the Gospel of Thomas. It's pretty cool. Especially for the medicine work, because there are some specific medicine things in there. And for all the folks that have, I was going to say attacked. I don't feel attacked, right? The beginning of A Course in Miracles. Nothing real can be threatened. Nothing unreal exists. Herein lies the peace of God. So if you are feeling attacked in any way, that's on you. That's ego. That's, you should not. So I didn't mean to say I felt attacked, but you ready for this? And again, not trying to poke the bear, but psychedelics predate Christianity. I got to get my buddy Brian Muraresku. I think I said that right. Pause this podcast right now, go to Amazon and buy the Immortality Key. It's like a Dan Brown novel, folks. Brian, never done the medicine because he didn't want to skew his reporting. This book, folks, he goes to the Vatican, he goes to Greece, he goes to the Vatican archives. If you believe these medicines are channel Satan or from the dark side or witchcraft or something like that, you're going to be a little blown away about what the Catholic Church has as far as psychedelics and what they took from the Greeks. Eleusis, or wait, I forget the name of the place in Greece. I think I said it wrong. But ladies and gentlemen, man. And by the way, the dudes that wrote the Bible, and I'm going to leave this stuff out. We're going to leave this stuff in. Not that I really want to throw a hand grenade, but Mary Magdalene. If you read some of these Gospels that weren't included, she's a whore. She's a prostitute. Oh, well, finally the Catholic Church has gotten around to saying, that she was Jesus's right-hand woman. In my opinion, some of these Gospels talk about the apostles would go to her like, dude, he's all about you, man. He doesn't love us. She's like, of course he does. Can you imagine? So the same dudes that are like, we're going to leave this stuff out. We're going to, she's mentioned, we're going to turn her into a prostitute. So let's minimize her role. How gross. Do some research on Mary Magdalene. I'm not going full tinfoil hat, Knights Templar. She had Jesus' kid, and so that's a whole separate movie, and we can talk about that over a microdose. But the stuff not included in the Bible, I strongly recommend that you read. Okay? And if that upsets you that, nope, this is the Bible and there's nothing allowed outside of it, you're going to allow what happened thousands of years ago, a council of dudes who decided what can be in and what can be out. Jesus didn't do that. A lot of people think like he wrote it or the apostles, and that's the way it always was. Just the way it is today, it was, no, man, it wasn't. So please, I'm begging you, go read some Thomas, Enoch, I forget what some of the other ones are. It's pretty astounding. Maybe I'll get some more hate mail on this. Like, see, it did do that to you, these medicines. If anything, man, these medicines opened up my mind, my soul, my body to differing opinions and seeing other people as souls and not this shell. I told you, man, in the Colorado experience, I was in Gaza, I was in Israel, and I saw horror. When you see souls killing souls, not the shells, not terrorists versus, Israeli soul. I mean, man, we are all one. We are all the same. We were all, every atom, proton, neutron, electron, Planck, every particle of your being all came from the same place, man. Now, you can believe that there's some, this is new me, man. Old me, why are you wasting time talking? I'm on YouTube watching all this stuff, man. The birth of the universe, are we alone? What's his name? Brian Cox, the physicist, the astrophysicist. I am enthralled by this stuff. The Big Bang was actually the end of the previous universe that collapsed upon itself and then exploded into this one. Holy shit. Some people think that's what happened. The Big Bang was actually the end of an old universe and born this one. Regardless, you are nothing but cosmic stardust that came from that. So when you go all the way back to the birth of time, that's a separate conversation. The birth of our time, we're all the same. Nothing but souls, cosmic stardust, all one people, all the same, who should be loving each other, supporting each other, taking care of each other. We're not. The amount of humans who have been killed in the name of God, a God, their God, because your God sucks, is heartbreaking. It's happening as I speak in Gaza. I saw a nice post. I'm going to post this around Christmas, but this one was good. It is really good. Where is it? Read it. Billions of people around the globe are about to celebrate the birthday of a Jewish man born in Bethlehem 2,000 plus years ago, but don't think Jews lived there before 1948. Right? This maddening thing. I just can't stand the back and forth. There was an October 6th. That's why October 7th happened, and open air prison and this and what we were here in the 1940. Oh my God, man. If you are a religious type, go into the Bible and to see about the Israeli people. Jesus, if you believe in Jesus, was a Jew. My God, man. The amount of death and destruction on this planet due to gods. It's heartbreaking. 9/11, the Crusades, fill in the blanks, man. Stop killing each other. It's that easy. If your religion believes in a God that wants everybody else killed who doesn't believe in that God, start with yourself. Unbelievable that you think your God, that's a loving God. I guess your God ain't loving. Is that really what your God believes? It's heartbreaking. So, a couple of themes today, just putting it out there because I love the feedback. It's really interesting to me to see the work that we're doing. I've had avowed atheists, agnostic, fill in the blank, ain't nothing out there, Whiz, type of people who, after experiencing this medicine, are like, I'm still not going to call it God. Whatever, dude. But there's something massive and powerful, and it's uniting us all. And great. Choose a word, man. Source, creator. If God turns you off, man, don't use the word God. Find a different word. But it's interesting to see people who, before the medicine, after the medicine, and go, okay, all right, now I get it. So hitting on a couple themes, I would love your feedback. And again, didn't mean to offend. If you took offense, that's on you. That ain't on me, man. I took initial little offense to some of the stuff. Like, how can they say this was evil? And I'm talking to the devil. Then what the hell is the devil? So I had my own little ego moments and felt attacked. And now I don't. I get it. And this provides me the opportunity to have these type of discussions. When I went to church for the first time after, what was it, for Keeley's confirmation? What was it? But I went to church for whatever it was. And after doing the medicine, and man, a lot of the symbolisms, gestures, things, I'm like, I am begging you. I'm not begging you. I'm ordering you to look into the Immortality Key. Folks, they found residue on chalices with these medicines in there before Christ was born. The Last Supper, potentially, psychedelics involved. It's called Soma, S-O-M-A, the wine. Eat my body, drink my blood. And again, don't listen to Whiz, read the book. The research, the first half of the book is a court case. It's all the research. You can't, data and facts are data and facts. You don't want to believe them, that's on you. But these are the data and the facts that Brian lays out about psychedelics before Christianity, and then what happened when Christianity showed up. Folks, back in Greece, the women were the priestesses, whatever, the medicine women, Mother Earth, they make the how do you say, kukion or whatever, the psychedelic brew, and you would find yourself, they'd make on your pilgrimage to this place and get connected with what they were calling their god at the time. Man, the women ruled the world. Here comes Christianity. Women gone. It's dudes that are in charge. Oh, and by the way, you can't use these things to communicate with God. We'll communicate with God and we'll tell you what it says. And by the way, pay us 10% of everything you make for the right to do this. Organized religion, to me, nails on a chalkboard. Spiritual over religious. 7 days a week and twice on Sunday. But what they did to women in Christianity, it was wrong. And then what happened? That stuff went underground. And if you were caught practicing that type of stuff, trying to communicate with God on your own, you're a witch. We'll burn you. Okay? When mushrooms, look in Mexico, man, the Spanish Inquisition. These people, devout Catholics, using psilocybin or mescaline to communicate and commune with God. Here comes the church. Oh my God, that will burn you at the stake. We tell you what God says. And if you use these things to try and talk to God, you're a devil, you're Satan. So I get it, man. I get why I get some of these comments, because it's in there. It's in the genes. I get it. Maybe a couple hundred years ago or whenever it was, me out in Colorado, we would have been lit on fire for practicing witchcraft. But I beg you, religious people, to have an open mind. Not, this is the way or you're going to hell. If that's the way you are, man, God love you. I love you. I love you. Period. I don't agree with you. And that's just based on my personal experience. Again, I didn't mean to poke or prod or anything like that, but I just wanted to engage in a little bit of a dialogue and let me know what you think on these subjects. Really excited as we get into December to start my strategic planning for next year. I don't do any planning without debriefing the previous year. You don't land from a mission and go, all right, on to the next one. No. We get into a room, close the door. What worked on this flight? What didn't? No punches are pulled. No ego. Boom. It is about improving our execution. So we're going to be debriefing with Nicole. We're going to start, our social media, our donors, my board, our advisory board. We're having a gathering, a No Fallen Heroes / Christmas party, foundation party at Casa de Buckley on the 16th of December. So it's going to be good to get everybody together and just good, just great. I can't wait to see everybody. And then map out next year, our retreat schedule, our everything. I'm looking, I know you got to be present, but man, I'm looking forward to 2024. Also looking forward to 2024 with MDMA. Rick Doblin, MAPS, man, the second phase 3 trials that came out better than the first phase 3 trials. And they found harder cases of people who were really, really suffering. The first phase 3 trial, these people were pretty bad. 67% show no symptoms anymore of having PTSD. What? Let's try that again, but get harder cases. 71%. It got higher. So from my mouth to God's ears, let's go. MDMA legal for therapeutic use sometime this year. Let me put my Top Gun Options hat on, even though I have my No Fallen Heroes hat on. You got to buy the psychedelics. We bought Top Gun Options. We moved the market Wednesday. We bought a ton of Atai down at whatever, and literally on the chart, as I think 100,000 shares. It was so cool. We moved the stock. Go take a look at Atai. We also did that in MindMed. 100% legal, man. We're an investment club. We all get together and say, let's all buy this stock. Guess what happens? It goes up. So, and these are cheap, man. Cybin, CYBN, MindMed, MNMD, Atai, ATAI. Met Christian Angermeyer before, the CEO, good dude. I would buy, they're all cheap. $5, $6, $1. Buy them with both hands. Again, it's the Wild West right now with the psychedelic stocks. There's a pets.com, an Amazon, a Google, and a Netscape. You buy the wrong two, you're broke. You buy the right two, you're a billionaire. So I will tell you, still a little Wild West. But when, not if, MDMA is legal for therapeutic use next year, the psychedelic sector will explode. Right? This just won't be underground, whiz, ooga booga booga, witchcraft, dancing around a fire type of thing. It will mainstream. VA, more studies. Active duty MDMA. There's an active duty study, folks, with MDMA. So it's coming. It is not stopping. It's coming. All the paperwork's at the FDA right now, getting crosses, dotting I's, all that type of stuff to make sure we're good. And subtle reminder, you ain't doing MDMA at your regular doctor's office. You're going to sit on the wax paper for 4 hours and have a nice little MDMA journey. It's not going to happen. That's why Daniel, Cody, Joe, you saw Joe on the podcast a month ago, Healing Realty Trust. Buying, there was a big article, what was it in? I forget, about now is the headline, paraphrasing, now is the time to buy commercial health space. Why? Because of us, because of what is coming. Daniel I'm going to be an investor in this. Daniel is getting ready to open the first healing center in the great state of Oregon. Like 7,000 people on the waiting list for treatment in Oregon for psilocybin. I love that. I don't like that because let's help these people right now, but I love the fact that people are stepping up to heal. I've heard about the potential healing power of these medicines. I need help. Big pharma, with their profit motive, dumping pills down my throat, ain't working. Precisely. So a lot of good stuff going on the investment side. And again, this is a dead horse. I'm going to kick it again right now. But folks, making money, awesome. Making money, saving and changing lives, that's a self-licking ice cream cone. That is a win-win-win. Because some people get sideways like, wow, are you talking about profit? What's that? Hey, man, what do you think? How do you think things work? Until we're all one big commune in the United States and we're all wearing our Jesus cleats and taking turns washing dishes and working on the farms, this is how it's got to be. So I don't want it to be like this. I started a foundation so it's not like this. So our heroes, our first responders, our veterans, and their families don't have to come out of pocket. Healing is free, should be free. I'm trying to make it free to as many of our heroes as possible. And it's interesting because people, people will reach out like, oh, why don't you help? I'm like, I am helping more than just veterans, first responders, and their families. But for right now, that's the closest alligators to my boat. When the Healing Realty Trust place is open, those will be for civilians. Daniel's, our place in Oregon, those are for civilians too. So we're I want to help everybody, man. But the closest people are my squadron mates, the veterans and the first responders and their families. So, folks, my mission objective is to heal everyone who wants healing. Again, started this podcast with this. Let me remind you, I ain't a doctor, MD, couch doc that you tell me your problem. I am none of those things, folks. I do not give medical advice, psych advice, any advice. I'm just me shooting the shit about my experiences. If it resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, it doesn't. However, at our retreat centers, there are doctors and psychologists. And so I defer, if you got any questions, to those type of people. But the ultimate mission objective, folks, is to help as many people as we can. Quick reminder, along with the I ain't no doctor and I don't play one on TV, is this. These medicines, not drugs, medicines are not for everybody. I've said numerous times, the medicine calls to you. That sounds like bullshit. It ain't calling to you. If you're like, let me start Googling, let me shoot Whiz a DM, it's calling to you. But again, these are not for everybody. Some folks with different type of mental issues should not do the medicine. I defer to the people with comma and letters after their name, not me. There are so many different healing modalities. Daniel went through a ton of stuff before he found this, EMDR and the sound, the breath work, holotropic breath work. Joe down at Awaken Your Soul, Joe and Troy, just children of God, incredible human beings, healers. The holotropic breathwork exercise that we did, it felt like the 5-MeO experience when I flipped in the bed. Didn't flip though. I mean, it was just using your breath. So there's breath work, there's sound therapy, there's hot yoga. Many of you know my journey from there to here. Walked down the street in Fort Lauderdale in my running shorts and shoes and walked into yoga joint and said, I'm new. What do I do? Great people. Welcome. And that started the journey that led me to here. So yoga, it's a moving meditation. The vinyasa is a moving meditation. I'll take a little microdose in the morning before my hot vinyasa and I am in it. Remember, a microdose is subperceptual. Shouldn't feel anything. If you feel something, it wasn't a microdose. But I can tell with a little bit of a microdose and my vinyasa, I am in it and I am good for the day. Great way to start the day. A little bit of hot yoga. So you can heal doing yoga. Then, as a result of Nicole, our director of medicine operations, our beautiful soul, she introduced me after yoga to breath work. We went to a weekend in Delray Beach here with Matt. And I was a guy that couldn't sit still for 30 seconds. Nose is itchy. There's thoughts. Just racing mind. Now I'll put on my playlist from one of my medicine experiences. I'll sit there and I'm in it. Not supposed to grade your meditations. That's why they call it practicing. It's a meditation practice. It ain't a meditation do, right? It's like doctors. I practice medicine. Great. When you're done practicing, can you actually do it for real on me? And it's not practice. You know what I'm getting at. So it's a meditation practice. Some of my, again, shouldn't grade it, but some of my meditations suck. I'm like, a lot going on. But the fact that I can step outside of me, so to speak, and look at me and go, dude, you got a lot. That's a victory. That's actually a win. Instead of being in my mind and having it race like, oh my God, I'm swamped and I got to pay bills and this and that. And then out of that, step out of that and look at that and go, man, okay, everything's fine, by the way. That you, the observer, watching that is a win. I love helping people. And again, your path to the medicine can be whatever your path to the medicine is, but yoga to breath work to the medicine, bro, that's the Top Gun route. People are like, that's the route. Yoga, breath work, or mindfulness, and then the medicine. It allowed me to navigate the journeys. It allows me to, right, and as Daniel often says, right, when after you take the medicine, you can't untake the medicine, right? The only way through it is through it. So I'm still unpacking my Colorado experience. That one was, yeah. But I remember at some heavy times, the war time when I'm like, it hurt. It was hurting my soul to see souls fighting each other. It hurt. And I remember getting back on my breathing and saying, this will pass. Source, God was showing me, dude, you got to do what you can to stop this. This is why, a couple times in the TGO briefs this week, I'll let you in on a little secret. I think Benjamin Netanyahu is an absolute miserable failure. This may not go over right, especially with the religious folks, if they haven't deleted this by now. You do not pause war. Ever. You only end war when it's over. War is the absolute failure of the human condition. It's just dumb. It's a failure of everything. However, like 9/11 getting punched randomly in the face, or Pearl Harbor, December 7th. If you got to fight, right? The one video, the man who wanted to be left alone, has over 500,000 views on the No Fallen Heroes Instagram. That one went viral. So war, if God forbid it has to happen, has to be violent, incredibly horrific, violent, so it's quick. This Ukraine shit, what are we going on, 2 years? Death by 1,000 cuts. Joe Biden. We ain't sending tanks. That would be World War III. Today we're sending tanks. Okay. We're not sending fighter jets. That would be World War III. We're sending F-16s. Dude, why don't you do that all on day one? So Netanyahu, folks, failure. This might hit some of you the wrong way, but probably people who've never worn a uniform. Caving to Biden and international pressure for a pause to get the hostages back. First of all, that's the wrong term. They're not hostages. Hostages taken today at a bank robbery. Hostages, or the Getty child was taken. Hostage is peace time, folks. People taken or stuck behind enemy lines, like the people Joe Biden left in Afghanistan when he pulled out, but that's a separate story, are, prisoners of war. They're captives. They're not hostages. So, and I don't want this to hit you the wrong way, but again, if it hits you the wrong way, you've never been in harm's way serving. He absolutely, when he declared war, good war speech, he should have said the Israelis, the Americans, the Thai, the group of international people that these animals are holding hostage, we're going to do our best, but I'd consider them dead. Now, if that hits you wrong, here's why. Yay for the children, the old people that have been released. Yay. Yay for them. Yay for their families. Yay for Hamas. Boo for the state of Israel and Jews and Israelis around the world. All you did was guarantee that more people will be kidnapped and, to use your terms, held hostage. Man, you should have led with it. You ever watch the movie, The Raid on Entebbe? Or folks, old Israel, you take our hostages, we're coming to kill you, hostage takers, and we're going to try and rescue our people. And if they died, they died. But we got you. So Benjamin Netanyahu, miserable failure. If that doesn't resonate with you, you're the problem. That's why wars drag on forever. He needed to be ruthless, not targeting. I can't stand this debate, man. One side kills children, decapitates them, puts them in ovens, kills old ladies, rapes women, kills families, targets civilians. That's what they did. Israel, here's a text message. We're going to blow up your building in 24 hours. Please leave. They go out of their way to avoid civilian casualties. But when you're a fucking coward like Hamas and you hide under schools and hospitals and you're punks, you use civilians as human shields, it's impossible not to have collateral damage. How dare you lecture Israel about that? Who's putting the people in harm's way? They do it because they know idiots like you in the world will go, ha ha. You fall for it. So this is brutal. I don't want to talk about it anymore. I've had it. I was with them at the beginning, like, yeah, the state of Israel is at war. Go kill every member of Hamas as quickly as you can. Finally today, the Wall Street Journal is like, yeah, the Mossad is, now they're going to go out and try and kill all the assholes, Hamas leaders in Qatar, the billionaire people that run Hamas that just kind of walk around Qatar, and as people are getting destroyed, they're all going to eat bullets. Israel is famous for having a long memory, and that's awesome. That's not my soul talking. That's ego talking. That is not awesome. I'd prefer none of this to happen. Again, this is the 500,000 video view of the man who wanted to be left alone. When you awaken a giant like this, we cannot be responsible for what happened. There's a great picture of like a lion, this big ass lion just sitting there, and there's a monkey walking up behind it with a bat. And it says, a month later, the monkey is demanding, to stop and a ceasefire. If you believe in proportionality in war, you're an idiot. You have no idea what war means. There is no such thing in a proportionate. So you want to talk proportions? Israel releasing murderers on death row and terrorists, Hamas terrorists, they are releasing out of prison, like hundreds of them, to get like an Israeli child back. So that cool with you? So one Israeli child life is worth a bunch of terrorists. I can't stand this. I hate talking like this. It brings me down. It's a lower energy, man, and I try and rise above this stuff. But man, I wore the uniform for 15 years. My boring no-fly zone missions over Iraq wasn't super in harm's way, but it could have been the day, man. I mean, I missed dropping bombs by who was it? The Vincent came in right after us, and of course they dropped a shitload of bombs. So always a bridesmaid, never a bride. And you know what? I kind of thank God for that. To be honest with you, everything worked exactly how it was supposed to. But folks, you seriously, sitting here in Boca in your Starbucks, looking at your phone and like, oh, Israel needs to shut up. Unbelievable. So I gotta move on from that type of stuff because it hurts me. I hate talking like this, but folks, man, if war has to happen, do it and get it over with. I see some in the Israeli government like, dude, we're gonna do a vote of no confidence or whatever. This coalition government that he put together, they're all about ready to bail. You're gonna listen to Anthony Blinken or Joe Biden, and I love the fact that the Democrat Party's ripping themselves apart. I had drinks last night, not a drink, non-alcoholic is what I meant, with a lady, and she's like, 2 weeks ago, man, I probably wouldn't even be talking to you. She's like, nah, because Jew, liberal Democrat, she was heartbroken. She's like, I marched with all these left-wing leaning causes in this country. I've supported, and they dropped us in the blink of an eye. They stabbed us in the back, Whiz. I'm like, duh. It hurts me to see you hurt and the Jewish community in this country hurt. Duh. What did you expect? She's like, now I've like never been more conservative or Republican or pro. I'm like, yeah, man. Yeah. Donald Trump, love him or hate him. It seems to be the thing. Kind of in the middle, to be honest with you. But every president in modern times has said, we're going to move the embassy to Jerusalem. All bullshit to get Democrat votes. Trump did it. Moved the embassy. the most pro-Israel president in our nation's history. You got Barack Hussein Obama out there doing a podcast like, we all got dirt on our hands in this, and he's awful. We fell for that guy. Lando Calrissian, nothing but a smooth talking black guy from Cloud City, from Chicago, a one-term senator who was a community organizer. White guilt. Unbelievable that we went through that. Of course, Chicago's MAGA country. Just ask Jesse Smollett. Anyway, folks, again, the war stuff breaks my heart. I try. The best thing to do, again, when God, Source, Truth, Divine, on that medicine experience kind of put me there, was like, you got it. I'm like, who am I? I told you with the ibogaine experience, I wrote down the word apostle in my journal. Didn't know what that meant. I do now, to spread the word. So I get it that God's like, dude, who are you? You're you. You're you. Let me read you something real quick. And then we'll wrap it up, man, because I gotta get up to Aspen. I want to read this to you. This is really, really cool. You ready? Our deepest fear is not that we are inadequate. Our deepest fear is that we are powerful beyond measure. It is our light, not our darkness, that most frightens us. We ask ourselves, who am I to be brilliant, gorgeous, talented, and fabulous? Actually, who are you not to be? You are a child of God. Your playing small does not serve the world. There's nothing enlightened about shrinking so that other people won't feel insecure around you. We were born to manifest the glory of God that is within us. It's not just in some of us, it's in everyone. And as we let our own light shine, we unconsciously give other people permission to do the same. As we are liberated from our own fear, our presence automatically liberates others. So shine on, you crazy diamond. Shine that light. Lead with your heart, lead with your truth, and you can never fail, period. And if that light or that truth doesn't resonate with people, that's on them. You vibrate at the highest possible frequency that you can, the frequency of love, and things are going to work out just right for you. I guarantee it. So if you can make it up to Colorado, I'd love to see you for the NHL Outdoor Alumni Game. This is going to be awesome, man. Going to be a lot of fun. Get to see my brother Dustin Lynch and all these NHL greats raise, hopefully, a lot of money for the No Fallen Heroes Foundations. We have a ton of grant requests. We got a big list of heroes who are seeking healing. Please, if you can, pitch into the fight. You can go to nofallenheroes.com and donate. Donate a Starbucks, man. Donate your weekly Starbucks allowance, and it can save and change a life. So I'll be back. I'll debrief you in a couple weeks about how it went in Aspen. Be well. Take care of you, your family, and your friends, and this world's going to be a much better place. Have a great rest of your day. Happy hunting. Make sure you hedge. Fights on. Namaste and Basi, Whiz out.